Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I love you. Today I thought we would kick off BookTube content with the beginning of the year tag. I've seen a bunch of other people post theirs. I love this. I got these questions from Larry Reads and love her, love all of the booktubers that I've found so far. Listen, I'm new to BookTube. I have always been a reader. I have previously been like, I'll read one, maybe two books a month, if that. Then at probably Q4 of last year, I read Fourth Wing for the first time. I know, a little late to the party, but I read Fourth Wing and became obsessed, dove in the deep end. Here we are. All I want to do is read and talk about books. So that is why we're here on YouTube. And I wanted to start with the beginning of the year tag. I've got this from Larry Reads. I've seen a bunch of my other favorite YouTubers answering these questions, and I thought it would be the perfect intro to BookTube content here. So this is coming from, again, new booktuber. I feel like I am just catching up on all the good reads. There's so many good books out there to read right now. I am not going to be the person that's going to like nitpick through every book and review it and go over every detail, because I don't like spoilers myself. So I'm not going to give any spoilers most of the time. However, I just want to catch up on all the good reads. I am not the fastest reader out there. I mean, I'm not reading like hundreds of books a year. I would say I'm like in an average speed to maybe above average a bit as far as like speed of reading. So with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and like, I probably won't have a 20 book a month update, but I feel like all I want to do in my spare time is sit down and read my book, because I love the stories that I'm finding, and there's so many more to read to catch up on. So this will be me like going through, we're gonna just catch up on all the fun books that everyone's talking about and see what the hype is about, because the hype is real. Like, everyone who suggests these books, they're popular for a reason, and when I read them, I might not agree with like everyone's opinion, but they're popular for a reason, and I get the hype. I have the hype for a lot of these popular books. So let's get into the beginning of the year questions. First off, how many books are you planning on reading in 2025? I set my initial reading goal at 36 books. Now, I'm reading more books than that a month, but I intentionally set a low goal because I don't want the number to be the end goal. I want like the experience of the books. I'm a fairly goal-oriented person, and I don't want to like set some number to just hit the number. If I'm reading a longer book, then I'm reading a longer book, and I'm going to read less books that month. So I intentionally set a low number. That was like 3 books a month. Just to keep me moving. I was like, if I can read 3 books a month, that'll keep my pace going. Ideally, I would read 4 or more. So truly, I'm aiming to probably read like 50 books this year, but 36 is my like goal on paper. I'm fully intend on hitting that, and yeah, we'll see how many we can get through this year. But at least like once I hit 36 books, it's like, cool, hit the goal. Now everything above that is just a bonus and like a pat on the back, because it should be fun. Reading should be fun. It should not be about like speeding through 10 books in a month to catch up on your goal. Second question, a book you're likely to reread this year. So I don't plan on doing a lot of rereads because I have so many new books to get through that are on my TBR. I have like a full cart of physical books, and then an even, well, probably the same or longer list of Kindle books to read. So if I'm going to reread a book this year, it will probably be Fourth Wing, just because I love it. I don't feel the need to reread it before Onyx Storm because I read it so recently. I only read it a few months ago. So I'm not going to do a reread before I read Onyx Storm. But if I'm going to reread a book, it's probably going to be that one, because that one One was the book that got me truly excited about reading more, and especially more like fantasy books. But that book gave me the biggest book hangover of my life. Like, while I was reading it, I could not think of anything else. When I was done with the first book, especially, it was like stare at the wall situation. It was like, I felt it. I felt all the feelings over and over again. I had forgotten that these aren't real people. I had to like bring myself back down to earth, and then continue to stare at the wall for about 3 days. That's gonna be, if anything, that'll be my reread. A priority read on your TBR. Okay, so because I'm catching up on all of these popular BookTube reads, all these popular books recently, my top priority is going to be to read the Throne of Glass series. I am almost through ACOTAR right now, and I have already read the first Throne of Glass book. Like, I read Throne of Glass, and I'm not starting with Assassin's Blade. I started with Throne of Glass. I'm gonna keep going and then read Assassin's Blade third. Anyways, beside the point. That is number one priority for me this year, and I'm trying to do it like soon. Like, I would love to finish in the first quarter of this year. Partially because I'm really excited to read the series. I love the characters already. I did really enjoy book one. Partially because avoiding spoilers on the internet for Throne of Glass is a full-time job. And I don't like spoilers. I don't want to know the whole story. I hardly want to read the book jacket before I read a book. And so I don't mind hearing people talk about how much they love books, or like the general ideas of books, or like, sometimes I don't even like to hear about tropes because I don't want to know too much. Like, I just want to have the full experience of the story. I want to know that it's good. I want to be excited to read it, but then I want to read the book and get the full plot and get the surprises and not spoil it for myself on the internet, because there's so many spoilers for ACOTAR too, but also for Throne of Glass. I want to go ahead and read that so that I don't ruin it for myself online. I probably won't like completely binge the entire series, but I will read them very, very close together and get through the entire series, let's say before mid-year. Good goal. An author you probably won't be reading more books from this year. I don't know that there's an author that I like won't be reading, because I have so many authors to choose from and to like that I haven't read yet, and I want to read so many of these. Even if some people are choosing not to read more from certain authors, like I want to read at least one or two of their books just to experience their writing and then determine who I don't want to read. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say like Colleen Hoover. Not really a Colleen Hoover girly. I've tried a few of her books before. I've read a few of her books before. She's fine. She's just not, for me, my favorite. And that's fine. So I think I will just prioritize other authors this year than Colleen Hoover. But it's not to say her books weren't an experience, for sure. Something new I want to read. I'm fairly new to all of these books that are all going around the internet and all the things. There's lots of new genres and tropes and like things that I want to read. I am interested in reading more of like dark romantic-y types of things, just to see how I like it. So we'll definitely be dabbling in some of those this year. A popular book that I want to read. There are too many to count. Not Throne of Glass, finish ACOTAR 1, Throne of Glass. Heartless Hunter's up there. I would like to read that one soon because I know the second book is coming out soon as well. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. That's also one that might be read in my book club this year, so we'll see. I'm gonna read it either way. Oh gosh, I want to read Six of Crows. I want to read When the Moon Hatched. I want to read, I'm trying to think of everything that's on my bookshelf right now that I haven't read yet. There's just so many. From Blood and Ash, This Woven Kingdom, gosh, you name it. Like, I want to read it right now. I can't consume enough books right now. So it's gonna be like a fire hose situation type of year. Just give them to me. Most anticipated 2025 book release. Onyx Storm. I mean, that's an obvious answer, but like, because I'm like on obsession level love with Fourth Wing, Onyx Storm is obviously my favorite. It's coming out almost like a few days from now, so I will be reading that when it comes out. That's most anticipated. There's a few others that I'm anticipating reading this year that I also haven't read the first book yet, but Onyx Storm, I mean, how could I not? Bookish things that I'm leaving in 2024. I mean, I personally don't have a lot to leave, but things that I will not be doing in 2024 is giving reviews or thoughts or opinions without spoiler alerts. I hate that for myself, so I will not be doing it here. We will not be judging. My entire BookTube being is we read and we don't judge. So we will not be judging. I will admit, I have judged in the past, and then I read the books and I loved them. Let's just leave that. Let's just leave the judgment. Who cares what everyone else is reading? I only care what I'm reading and what the people I like listening to are reading. So we will be listening and reading and not judging. And the last thing I'd say that I will not be doing this year is, again, holding myself to a number goal. I'm not going to be pushing myself to read 200 books. I'm not going to feel bad if I don't read 50 books. Like, I'm not going to attach myself to a number goal because it doesn't do anybody any favors. Like, I'm racing against myself, and that doesn't feel good. No, we're just not going there. How has my reading taste evolved from last year? Well, I went from reading probably more like romance and more like regular adult fiction books. I still read those every now and then, but I really dove headfirst with no goggles into the fantasy genre. I think that that's opened up a lot of doors. It's brought a lot more books for me to read. It has made my imagination run wild, and I'm looking forward to more of that in 2025 for sure. BookTube creators who inspire me. Well, again, I'm still getting to know everyone. I'm still following lots of people, especially because of the whole TikTok situation. Moving from following a lot of people on TikTok to now gonna be following more people on YouTube. But I'd say right now the people I'm following most closely are Emmy from What Emmy Reads. I love her. I consume all of her content. I feel like we're friends, and it doesn't matter what she says. I'm eating it up and I'm adding it to lists and I'm doing all the things, and I just want to have like a cup of coffee with her and hang out and read. Also, Lucy from Luce's Library. I'm loving all of her content as well. I love to see what she's into and her like lists upon lists of books and recommendations and thoughts, and I eat up all of her content as well. Larry, of course, who did this tag. She's hilarious, so entertaining and engaging. I also love to hear her thoughts and opinions, and gosh, just the vibes I love. And then finally, M Funds Reads. She has me giggling. She has me like, I feel like I'm sitting in a room with her and we're having a sleepover and chatting about books, and her reads and her thoughts and opinions are fun. So definitely go check all of them out if you haven't already. And then something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a Bookish account. Well, just do it. Join me in starting a Bookish account, and we will do this together because I have no tips and tricks right now. I'm starting from ground zero, and we will just do this together. And I love that you're here, and I would love to follow your content as well and have these discussions and like chat and yap to someone about books all day long, because that's all I can think about in my spare time. So I hope that was insightful or inspiring, or you just want to hang out and be friends. I really enjoyed answering all these questions. I'm looking forward to so many more sit down chats and vlogs and just reading bookish things. I have so much more to share. Gosh, it's just, I feel like I have it all in my head. I'm finally getting it all out on like paper and on camera, and we're gonna get going with this thing because I just can't wait to talk to more book people. Y'all are my people, and I'm excited to finally like contribute to the conversation and find people who want to like just sit down with me and hang out. Subscribe if you are not already for more of this type of thing. We're gonna figure this out together. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do the thing, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Oh, also, leave in the comments what you're reading right now. I wanna know. I wanna know if we're reading the same things, if we have the same things coming up. I'm starting to map out my TBR by like month. So tell me in the comments what book you're reading right now and what's next for you on your bookshelf. Okay, see you guys later.